Quick ask. Subscribe now, then let's jump in with the numbers. Oregon was supposed to be resilient, a West Coast refuge where listings vanished and equity moved one way. But 2025 is bending that story. Open houses feel quieter. Coming soon sits longer. Price cuts that started in fringe pockets are creeping along Interstate 5 and out to the coast. Are homes lingering outside Portland's core? Are coastal condos and HOA towns feeling heavier monthlies? Is your city next? And is your equity already repricing while you're still quoting last spring? If your plan depends on yesterday's playbook, you could be negotiating with the past. Tonight we're running an early warning playbook, not a doomsday reel. We'll count down the Oregon cities where momentum is slipping, where days on market stretch, inventory normalizes from starved to tight, and sellers offer concessions they swore they'd never touch. I'll show you how to read the signals before they trend. The jump in reductions, the reappearance of rate buydowns, the gap between glossy photos and underfunded reserves. Some names will be obvious, others will surprise you. And the number one city on this list isn't the suspect most people expect. If you're selling, we'll talk about pricing to today and using incentives to protect your timeline before the market teaches the lesson. If you're buying, we'll map where patience turns into leverage so you don't pay a premium for habit. The goal is simple. Move from impulse to strategy, from postcard to payment. Read the signals first, act with discipline, and keep your margin intact. Ready? Let's get to work. To understand Oregon's 2025 shift, rewind the boom. When remote work broke the old map, buyers hunted views, trails, and coastal breezes. Lifestyle metros filled up, and cheap money turned stretch houses into why not now? Investors followed yield, builders chased backlogs, and bidding wars made even dated tri-levels look invincible. For a while, simply listing felt like a plan. Then the turn arrived. Rates rose, so every borrowed dollar got heavier. Insurers repriced roofs, wind, wildfire, and flood. HOA boards raised dues to rebuild reserves, and post-Surfside standards forced deeper inspections and special assessments in older buildings. County reassessments caught up to pandemic-era appreciation. Permits slowed. Labor and materials inflated renovation budgets. Return to office friction tugged some households back toward job corps, just as Portland's tech/creative hiring cooled. Service sector wage growth lagged the cost of everything else. Put it together, and the obstacle isn't the address. It's the monthly. Principal and interest plus taxes, insurance, HOA, utilities, and likely upgrades push past comfort. The family that stretched at 3% won't at 7%, so buyers pause. When they pause, days on market widen from frantic to normal, and inventory normalizes from starved to simply tight. The pressure shows first where carrying costs compound. HOA-dense townhomes and mid-rise condos with rising dues or looming reserve projects, and mid-tier resales that need systems work. Roof, HVAC, panels, windows, that lenders and insurers now price in. In those pockets, pending slip, the share of reductions grows and concessions return. Closing credits, permanent rate buydowns, prepaid dues, inspection repairs. This isn't doomsday, it's deceleration, and it's uneven. Some cities will absorb the shock with scarce new builds, high incomes, or bulletproof locations near hospitals and major employers. Others will stall as yesterday's prices collide with today's payment math. In the countdown ahead, we'll separate signal from noise and show exactly where patience turns into leverage. Read the monthly before the map pin, and you'll act like a calm operator in a loud market. Remember, liquidity moves first, and prices follow with a lag by neighborhood and product type. If you track the tells early, you won't need luck. Discipline. Here's how we rank cities. No hype, just signals you can verify. We build a 3 to 6 month composite. Days on market rising, active inventory building, the share of price cuts increasing, pending sales slipping, absorption rate falling, and median sale price growth flattening or turning negative. Then we clean the data, adjust for seasonality, post-holiday rehits, and mixed shifts like luxury or new build surges that distort medians. We strip out one-off shocks, weather events, disasters, policy changes, and pressure test the payment side. HOA reserves in minutes, insurance quotes, assessment exposure, and renovation premiums that lenders and carriers now price in. If a market only wobbles for a week, it doesn't make the list. The countdown highlights sustained deceleration across multiple indicators so you can separate postcard value from payment reality and negotiate from evidence, not emotion. That's the promise. Transparency first, tactics next. We publish definitions so you can audit each step taken. At 10, Corvallis and Albany remind us that anchors cushion, they don't cancel math. The university, hospitals, and agencies keep a floor under demand, but payment fatigue shows up in the mid-tier. 1990s and 2000s, resales look approachable until the punch list appears. Roof near end of life, aging HVAC, original windows, electrical panels, insurers question. Days on market stretch past 30 in non-prime pockets, and the price cut share inches higher as sellers anchored to 2022 meet quieter Saturdays. The monthly tells the story: principal and interest plus taxes, insurance, HOA, utilities, and upgrades. Smart buyers underwrite the house, not the brochure. Roof age, heat pump efficiency, panel amperage, and quotes in writing. Savvy sellers pre-inspect, handle the obvious, and advertise a permanent rate buy-down on day one. Watch 3 tells here: second week reductions, inspection credits, and relists after financing hiccups. When those stack, leverage shifts to whoever respected the math first. Number 9, Lincoln City and Newport test the line between scarcity and solvency. Everyone loves a coastal key, yet older HOA buildings face insurance repricing for wind and water, higher reserve targets, and special assessments for envelope, balcony, or elevator work. Seasonality amplifies every variable. More listings after summer, thinner winter traffic, and short-term rental income that no longer floats the note by itself. You'll see inventory bump, marketing windows lengthen, and buyers insist on concessions, closing credits, prepaid dues, and permanent buydowns before they even discuss price. The playbook is documentation. Request loss runs, current insurance quotes, reserve studies, and board minutes. Cost the next 5 years of assessments, not just month one. If you're selling, price to the net monthly the buyer will see and lead with incentives. Chasing the market down along the coast is the most expensive habit. Views matter, but solvency wins. At 8, Gresham and East Multnomah trade speed for scrutiny. Affordability pulls shoppers east, but HOA dues on townhomes and renovation premiums on older single-family homes push the true monthly above comfort. Pending slip in condo tiers with rising dues or thin reserves, and relists with second-week price adjustments reappear. Commute calculus returns as fuel, time, and parking pressure budgets. Buyers ask what the whole month costs, not just the sticker they scroll past. Inventory that felt scarce now reads normal, and average houses negotiate while only the sharpest listings clear fast. Buyers should compare net monthly to renting nearby, keep inspections intact, and time offers near month end or after the second reduction with a buy-down request attached. Sellers should fix the items every inspector will flag, price to today's comps, and make the right cut once, then defend it with condition, staging, and disclosures. In East County, patience isn't delay, it's strategy and advantage. At 7, Salem and Kaiser look steady, yet the ground truth says, stretch carefully. Now, state payrolls and healthcare anchors keep demand dependable, but starter inventory has thinned, pushing first-timers into older houses with punch lists. Inspection leverage has returned, and it's meaningful. Roofs aging out, tired HVACs, aluminum wiring, galvanized supply lines, windows that fog. Sellers who priced to last spring are meeting longer weekends and sharper counters. Buyers are insisting on concessions that solve the monthly, not the sticker. Permanent rate buydowns, closing credits, and repair escrows are back in the toolkit because the obstacle is the payment stack: principal, interest, taxes, insurance, HOA. If you're writing an offer here, lead with inspection and a buy-down ask, then value the house as if the roof and system work were already completed. If you're listing, pre-inspect, fix the obvious, price to today's comps, and put incentives in the headline. At 6, Eugene and Springfield still market the lifestyle. River paths, Saturday market, quick trailheads. But 2010 subdivisions are learning the new math. Dues that once felt trivial now scale when insurance reprices and communities plan reserve rebuilds. Energy efficiency upgrades buyers want. Heat pumps and windows lift total cost even when list prices look fair. Investors are less aggressive than they were during the remote work wave, so mid-tier resales don't clear on momentum alone. You'll see days on market drift upward, price cut shares expand, and negotiation cycles stretch as buyers compare the monthly to renting nearby. Smart operators read minutes, verify reserves, and model 5-year assessments before falling for staging. If you're buying, time offers near month end or after a second reduction and keep inspection protections intact. If you're selling, sharpen condition around the utilities bill, air seal, service HVAC, document insulation, and pair a permanent buy-down with realistic pricing. Eugene's vibe still sells, Springfield's value still speaks. Numbers now narrate the ending. At 5, Medford and Grants Pass translate romance into spreadsheet reality. The Rogue Valley still attracts relocators, yet migration has cooled and wildfire-adjacent premiums have climbed. Mid-tier resales that need systems updates, original roofs, dated panels, septic attention, deferred exterior paint, sit longer unless the concession stack is obvious. Absorption outside A-grade condition has slowed, and buyers are underwriting defensible space, insurer appetite, and utilities as hard as price per square foot. The speed versus scrutiny trade-off is real. Turnkey homes clear, average homes negotiate, tired homes wait. If you're shopping, get insurance quotes in writing before you offer, price tree work and hardening, and ask the seller to fund a permanent buy-down plus repairs. If you're selling, present a Firewise checklist, refresh the exterior, and price to move in the first 2 weekends. In the Rogue Valley, scrutiny is not pessimism, it's protection, and disciplined structure beats speed every time. At 4, Beaverton and Hillsborough show how a great brand meets a balance sheet. The Silicon Forest halo is intact. Campuses, light rail, bikes, and brew. But payment fatigue is visible outside trophy proximity to major employers. Older condos with rising dues and reserve catch-ups are discounting deeper. And townhomes once cleared in a weekend now wait for the second Saturday. Insurance is repricing roofs and siding. Utilities round out a heavier monthly. Absorption slows in non-trophy pockets. Turnkey near the chip plants flies. Average condition negotiates. The smart move is patience with proof. Read HOA minutes, model dues through 2027, price exterior envelopes and windows before you fall for staging. If you're selling, price to today and advertise a permanent rate buy-down up front. If you're buying, value the payment, not the postcard. Beaverton and Hillsborough, calm operators win because they underwrite the building before they admire the commute. At 3, Bend and Redmond prove that vibe and viability aren't the same invoice. The outdoors still sells, but renovation labor and materials haven't come down, and insurance is repricing roofs, wildfire, and snow load. Short-term rental yields soften at the margin as supply grows and rules tighten, turning some once automatic math into work. Days on market stretch in fringe subdivisions, especially on 2000s homes with original kitchens, windows, and mechanicals. Price improvements are common, and the spread between turnkey and average widens. The operator play is simple. Run the monthly first, then the map. Read HOA minutes, obtain insurance quotes in writing, and price likely upgrades before you bid. If the rent comparison beats your modeled payment, wait. If you're selling, pre-inspect, package a permanent buy-down, and price to the buyers who still value Ben's time savings more than a granite island. Patience pays here. Precision wins here. Emotion is expensive. At 2, Portland's story splits. Prime neighborhoods clear fast, but non-prime pockets tell the deceleration tale. Mid-rise condos with HOA dues climbing, reserve replenishments looming, and older craftsman homes presenting electrical, plumbing, and seismic upgrades that lenders and insurers now price in. Days on market rise, and you see clusters of price cuts where fees inflate monthly more than buyers expected. Sellers keep deals intact with buy-downs, credits, and prepaid dues because the obstacle isn't address, it's affordability. The disciplined move is to underwrite the building and the block. Minutes, reserves, assessments, utility history, and soft costs like parking or commute time. Buyers should time offers after a second reduction and keep inspections strong. If the true monthly beats renting by pennies, hold fire. Sellers should make the right cut once, fix deal killers, and tell a financial story. If Portland is number 2, you already know something bigger sits at 1. At number 1, the Beaverton-Hillsborough condo tiers. Not the call most people expect, but the signals stack the loudest here. Days on market are climbing, active listings are quietly accumulating, the share of price cuts is rising, pendings are lighter, absorption is slipping, and median price growth has turned down after we adjust for seasonality and mix. The allure is still real. Silicon forest proximity, transit, coffee, trails. But the payment math breaks at current list levels. Once rising dues, insurance and reserve targets are modeled into the monthly. So act like an operator. If you're buying, target units past 30 days, read minutes and reserve studies, get insurance quotes in writing, and ask for a permanent rate buy-down plus closing credits before discussing price. Keep inspections intact and treat upcoming envelope or siding projects as leverage, not a surprise. If you're selling, price to today's comps, disclose reserves and projects, and lead with incentives. Multiple microcuts will only train buyers to wait. In this submarket, patience beats FOMO, solvency beats sparkle, and the side that solves the monthly first wins. That's how you negotiate from strength when a beautiful brand meets a heavier balance sheet. Use timing to your advantage. Here's the playbook to turn a softening market into leverage. Buyers, stop chasing brand new listings and hunt the 21, 30, 45-day group where carrying costs soften resolve. Lead with a permanent rate buy-down and closing credits, then negotiate price. Read HOA minutes and reserve studies, confirm insurance quotes in writing, and model assessments, utilities, and likely repairs 12 months forward. Time offers near month end or right after a second reduction, and keep inspections intact. You're buying a monthly, not a mystery. If rent still beats your modeled payment and the home isn't unique, wait. Optionality is a position. Sellers, price to current comps, not last spring's memory. Pre-inspect, fix deal killers, and publish receipts. Lead with incentives up front. Permanent buy-down credit, prepaid dues, closing costs, so buyers can see a path to yes. Skip microcuts. Make the right cut once and defend it with condition, staging, and clear disclosures. Speed and clarity beat stubbornness. Now bring your ground truth. Where are price cuts accelerating? Which buildings are raising dues or planning assessments? Drop your intel in the comments, and I'll cue viewer-requested deep dives by city and submarket. Next episode, where Oregon inventory is up but buyers are coming back. The first green shoots. Stay disciplined.